This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I'm fired up to reveal the 3 Girls in Love system in its entirety, and I'm gonna try to do it in one short video. If I miss something, make sure you comment down below and ask tons of questions because there's an answer to everything. First of all, if you haven't watched the last video I made in terms of increasing women's value once more, then please do so, and I will recap a little bit here of the reason why we need 3 Girls in Love in place as we speak right now. The reason is because sex is cheap and very accessible for absolutely everyone that wants it. That's a problem. Sex is a reward for men, and if men receive it too easily, we have no purpose in life anymore. We can easily get it from porn, or we can easily get it by going to a bar or to a club during the weekends and sleep around. And it suddenly has lost its savor, it's lost its value, there's no fun in it anymore. For those that have been players for a very long time, they basically, I'm addicted to sex, but I don't really enjoy it. There's no love there, there's no commitment, there's no depth, it's just shallow relationships. And the women, once you've been with them, they become needy and desperate and clingy, and it's just, I don't even want to be with these girls, but I need it because that's my sexual release. This is a really bad place we're in right now, but there's a solution to everything, and 3 Girls in Love lifestyle is the way for women and children to become emotionally fulfilled, but at the same time be a reward and a motivation for men to actually act responsibly and to build up society and to do their part in making the world a better place. That's why I speak about on my channel the 5 stages of leadership, where stage 1 or phase 1 is to allow yourself to be led. Phase 2 is to lead yourself, right? Self-control and discipline. And phase 3 is leading others or building up teams. And then phase 4 is leading women. And stage 5 is leading kids. If you never manage to learn how to lead men, you will never learn how to lead women. That's more tricky, and that's why it requires for you to be wealthy way in advance of you actually starting out this kind of family structure. To start it out when you don't have any money, very bad idea. One of the very good reasons why you should be wealthy when you start this kind of lifestyle is because the women will be stay-at-home mothers and embracing traditional gender roles and prepare everything in the home and to be with the kids and to take care of them and to have small outings together and basically be feminine. They don't have to go out there and be rejected. They don't have to go out there in the workforce. They don't have to build their own businesses. They don't have to do anything because you're motivated enough to create more and more and more wealth. Remember that women are turned on by men that have power. The more power you develop, the better. When you have responsibility for the finances and you take care of all of that stuff so they don't even have to think about problems, it basically allows them to live a completely stress-free life. Now, why would you want to do that? Because it's the right thing to do, and women who live stress-free lives and have abundance in their lives will create absolutely amazing children. The more feminine your women are, the more masculine your sons will be. The more feminine your women are, the more feminine your daughters will be, and the more amazing men that they will attract when they become of age. Now we've established that you need a man of high value who is disciplined, who has self-control, and who's a leader, and who also already has established wealth before he even thinks about the 3 Girls in Love lifestyle. The amount of wealth that I recommend for a man to have before he even thinks about this kind of lifestyle is at least the net worth of $1 million after taxes, or 10K in net passive income per month. Passive income, okay? That it comes in whether you work or not, whether you're present or not, because you've built up systems or you've built up teams that work completely independently of you. If you've got that in place, then you're able to start this kind of lifestyle. To have women working would jeopardize the entire family structure. At the same time, in this kind of family environment, you would be gone 80% of the time. You're not there with the girls all of the time. You're gone. You're a mystery. You're the prize that they get at the end of the day after they've done all of their chores and everything that they're supposed to be doing. And you get your reward for having been out there and creating more and more and more and more wealth and being an example for your children. And according to the video that I made a few days ago, From Femininity to Masculinity, in terms of blame, it is you, as the man, who takes the blame for everything wrong that happens in that family. Everything. If the women become upset with each other, if there's jealousy, or if there's issues, or if the kids are acting up, or whatever it is, you are the one to blame. The reason why is because you're responsible for the environment. You're responsible for the abundance. If abundance is in place, there will be equality and harmony amongst the women. The only reason why jealousies and issues happen in those type of family structures is because there's a lack. There's a lack of the husband's attention. There's a lack of resources, of money for food and shelter and clothing. Or there's a lack in terms of him being able to last in the bedroom, which is the last thing that I'm going to talk about. You, as the man, have to learn ejaculation control at some point in time. It does not take very long to learn it. If you've got a coach, you can learn it within a few months' time. Maybe set aside a year or so before you start this structure to learn ejaculation control. But to learn it right now when you've got like maybe $10,000 in the bank is not the right time to learn ejaculation control. Right now you need to learn leadership, you need to learn self-control, discipline, and all the other stuff before you start tackling that aspect of life. And that's pretty much it. That's your job. If you have those things in place, trust me, everything else pretty much will work. Of course, you need to understand the woman so that you can know how to navigate this interesting landscape, but everything else can be learned. And if you've got the money, and if you've got the self-control and the discipline and the leadership skills, you can hire coaches. You can get the help you need in order for this to work. And when it works, it is absolutely beautiful. I must admit, this is a theory. I'm not putting this into practice because I don't qualify financially yet according to the system. And I've never met anyone that is practicing this according to the guidelines that we've put together. But these guidelines are put in place according to women's and children's and men's emotional needs. When their emotional needs are met, there is peace, there's harmony, there's growth, there's motivation, and everyone is fired up about what's happening in their lives. The most important thing that you can do for your children as the man is to love their mother. A critical aspect of this is the number 3. And I have to re-emphasize this as I've not done this in this video. It is not 2, it is not 4, it is none of the above. All of these other numbers don't exist. It's 3. The reason why it's 3 is because of the concept of abundance and equality. You cannot treat them equally. You cannot give all of them abundance if it is a different number. If there's 2, for example, if you give one attention, it is as if you're rejecting the other. She's basically has nothing to do and she's just watching you guys and she feels left out. Not good. It's not going to work in the long run and creates jealousy automatically. When there's 3, when you focus on one of the women, the other 2 have each other and they can enjoy what is happening together. Women hate being alone. They're social creatures. Only these 3 are going to be best friends forever. Okay, BFFs, literally. And they're going to choose each other out themselves. You're not the one that chooses them. They're the ones who choose each other. And then you have to decide if you want to have these 3 as a package in your life for the rest of your life. You only make the decision about the women once. You never bring any other women home. You never look at any other women. Nothing. Okay? It's only these 3 and that's the commitment you make once you make that commitment. We want our women to be feminine. Feminine stands for unburdened, which means that we don't want to burden them more than their capacity. When women are in their essence, in their femininity, they enjoy life. Everything's fantastic. But when you burden them, you're making them masculine and creating problems and issues for yourself and the relationship. The moment a woman becomes burdened, she becomes masculine. And if she becomes masculine, she now has lack. And when there's lack, it's your fault. So you want to make sure that all of the women that are in your vicinity, in the environment that you've created, are allowed to be in their essence, to be feminine. Which means that the guidelines that we have for children, to keep it simple, is that there's one child per woman per 9 years. No more than that, okay? And the reason why I say no more than that is because more than that will burden the women. When one woman is pregnant, she becomes nurtured, she becomes pampered, and the other two can be there for her, and the pregnant one doesn't have to be there for anyone, but she can still help out and be there. But she lives a stress-free life and doesn't have to worry about anything. Once the child is born, the women are there to assist. There's no postpartum depression in this kind of lifestyle, because the other mothers are there producing tons of extra estrogen and helping the woman to get back on her feet, helping her to exercise and get everything back on track, helping to create a sleep routine for the child. All of these practical things you're not really thinking about because you've never had kids, you've never experienced how it is to be married. I've been married for 10 years, I've got 3 kids, I know exactly how everything would be solved had we had 3 mothers, but we haven't, and so I've gone through the heartache, the pain, and the rejection, and the issues that comes with one-on-one monogamy. It's been okay, I don't complain, I love my life, and I love my wife. However, there's just certain things that would have absolutely made things so much more beautiful, so much more harmonious, and given our children a massive edge and advantage in terms of them growing up in a home that has absolute abundance. That's what you want. And then when the child begins to communicate properly and has received lots of love and adoration from 3 mothers at the same time, there's capacity for one of the other women to become pregnant and have a child of her own. Everyone is going to have their chance, so everyone's going to have an equal opportunity. At the same time, the kids that are already there will have the attention of the other 2 mothers. One can be pregnant, and there's still lots of abundance for taking care of the one that is pregnant right now. You have no idea how fired up I am about this system, how fired up I am about this family structure, because when families succeed, when children receive abundance and receive tons of love as children, they grow up to become fantastic members of society, and they will produce amazing families of their own because you know what? They grew up seeing the love between the mothers and between the mothers and the father, and he will want the exact same thing. I want this for both my sons, and I want this for my daughter. They're gonna be so lucky having been raised in this home where I know this stuff, and I can help them to set their lives up properly from the get-go, creating massive wealth from an early age, and collaborating with other families so as to create amazing relationships and future families. This is a movement for women, for children, and for men, and massively for society at large. It will eradicate prostitution. It will eradicate casual sex. Players will no longer be able to hook up with beautiful women because all the beautiful women will already have been taken. Obviously, not everyone is going to want to practice this, especially those that are religious, those that are already in relationships, or there's going to be feminists that just simply want to have nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter. Understand that 1 million high-value men that are wealthy will create a luxurious, amazing lifestyle for 3 million women. And if we give all those 3 million women 2 or 3 kids, let's say 2 kids for that matter, That's 6 million children that are born into abundance, luxury, that are taught by their fathers and that understand what true, lasting love means. And they will want the exact same thing for themselves. As you might know, I've been speaking about this for several weeks on the Girls of High Value channel, which is my other channel. The link is down below so that you can subscribe to that channel as well, as I'm sharing these concepts directly with women. And I speak to them differently than I would speak to you guys. But it came to the point where I felt that you guys should understand what this movement is all about and what we're creating for the future. And eventually it's going to be some form of matchmaking thing where we're basically giving the stamp of approval to men of high value. That this guy, he's a man of high value, and we're figuring out 3 women who understand these concepts, who are fired up about these concepts, and that want to find a man of high value who basically is following the guidelines according to the structure that we've set up. If people follow these guidelines and women are allowed to remain in their femininity in this setting, the success rates are gonna be off the charts. I'm excited to set this up for you guys. I hope that you take the time to study this out and don't just throw it out with the bathwater, because there's so much more to it that I haven't shared in this very, very short video. I want you to understand how this can truly solve all of the world's problems, because when emotional needs are met, there is massive motivation to create more solutions for the world's problems. Anything can be solved when men and women are emotionally fulfilled. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next video.